Can we, okay, we're now going public, we're Zoom. Good morning, everyone. This is the House Rules and Executive Nominations Committee. We have a list of re-referrals to be sent to the appropriate committees. This should not take very long, as usual. We usually do this in person, but it's a new thing doing it on Zoom. So ask everybody to get on camera, and I will ask the vice chair to read off the bills that are going to be re-referred. You have received them in your emails.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair. I move the following bills be re-referred to appropriate committee. HB 1503, State Personnel Paid Family Leave, Family and Medical Leave. HB 1509, Collective Bargaining, Local Government Employee and Public Employee Relations Act. HB 1516, Financial Institutions, Consumer Credit, Application of Licensing Requirement. HB 1531, Anne Arundel County Actions to Response to the Failure to Pay Rent Summons. HB 1543, Gaming, Sports Wagering Facilities Request for Relocation. HB 1544, Public Safety, Maryland Law Enforcement, Public Safety, Medical Service, Metal and Key Bridge Collapse Victims Memorial Tribute. HB 1547, Barbers and Cosmetologists, License Qualification, Domestic Violence Awareness Training. HB 1551, Alcoholic Beverages, Class 5 Breweries on Premises Consumption. HB 1552, Maryland Commissions on Men's Health Reestablishment. HB 1554, Sales and Use Tax, Taxable Business Services Alterations. HB 1555, Funeral Services, Funeral Establishments, Crematories, and Reduction Facilities Oversight. And finally, HB 1556, Environment, Advanced Clean Cars 2 Program and Advanced Clean Trucks Regulation. Move the appropriate bill, move those bills to the appropriate committee, Madam Chair.
Thank you. It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded to re-refer. Delegate Pepe.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Madam Chair. I ask that we pull 1554 out of the consent calendar for discussion and 1556. And so if the will of the committees to do a consent calendar, I ask that those two bills be pulled to the side and done after.
Okay, we'll do that. We'll vote on the remaining bills that were read off, okay? All those in favor of the bills except
Madam
for
Chair,
those two?
Chair Corman has his hand raised.
I'm sorry, Chair Corman.
Sorry, it was just on 1556. Once we do this motion, I just wanted to explain it to Delegate Pepe.
Oh, after we finish this vote.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Sorry to interrupt.
Thank you. All those in favor of the bills that have been to be re-referred, with the exception of 1554 and 1556, say aye.
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 Any opposed, say no.
I'd like to be recorded as no.
Who is that?
I'd like to be recorded in the negative on all those bills.
Me too.
Okay, can you state your name so that it can be recorded? I know it's on the screen, but I've got 21 people in front of me.
I've heard Delegate Kipke, Delegate Pipke, and Delegate Shalega.
Thank you very much, Delegate.
Yeah, and so
Delegate
Delegate
Riley
and
is on
Riley.
me too.
Okay, just a minute. One at a time. Delegate Riley, I recognize you.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, Delegate Pepe also votes in the no on those bills.
Okay, and Delegate Riley, your hand is still up?
Yes, I am a no.
Okay. Anybody else? Delegate Corman, your hand is still up? Okay, let me just close out this vote. All those in favor, we did that. We recorded the people who wanted to be recorded no. The ayes have it. So those bills those bills will be re-referred. And now we will take up the two that were pulled off the consent calendar. Delegate Pepe, you want to explain or what you want to talk about on 1554?
Sure. Well, I was going to do an easy one first. So 1556, I vote in favor. I think that's a good bill that rolls back the timeline for penalizing dealers and others that do not.
Okay, but we're not on that right now.
Okay. Well, so we'll get into 1554. This bill is it's not in the best interest of Marylanders. It's a insanely large tax increase on Maryland businesses, billions of dollars. I think it's somewhat egregious that we would bring this in at the 11th hour and try to push it through rules. So I strongly urge my colleagues on both sides of the aisle to not refer this to committee. I think this will cause great harm to our state, to our private sector, in which we need to support our tax base. I think it sends the wrong message, and I urge my colleagues to do the right thing and not refer this to committee.
Thank you, Delegate Pippi. Delegate Kipke has his hand raised. I recognize you.
Thank you, Madam Chairman.
1554 is the subject matter.
Yep. And good morning to everyone. And respectfully, I just want to say that this bill is a acceleration of what is already Maryland. We are already ranked the 47th worst state in the nation for our business climate. We have a revenue problem in the state because we don't have enough private sector enterprise funding what we want to do in this legislature. And it's bills like this that deter small businesses from opening up in our state. I personally know of people with money who are opening up businesses in Virginia that live in Maryland because they can make money in Virginia and they can't make money here. And so, I understand that we have a revenue problem, but this makes it worse. So I'll be voting against re-referring this bill.
Thank you, Delegate Pippi. Delegate Atterbury.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would just ask my colleagues to refer this to the Ways and Means Committee. We need to have a full hearing and we need to vet the bill. We need to hear from everyone. It's an option on the table. And I think we need to let the committee members decide. So I would ask that it be referred to committee. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Delegate. Are there any other comments? Okay, we're going to take a vote on this now. All those in favor of re-referring House Bill 1554 to the Ways and Means Committee, say aye.
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 Any opposed, please not only say, but give your name so that we can record you, okay?
Delegate,
I'll if you've got your hands raised, I'll just call you off, okay? Delegate Kipke, Delegate Riley, Delegate Pippi, Delegate Shalega. Anyone else? Those are the ones I saw. Anyone else, please speak up. Okay, the ayes have it. That bill will be re-referred. And now we will go to House Bill 1556. Delegate Pippi, you asked to take this off the consent calendar.
Sure. So as I read the bill, and I know the chair of ENT will probably confirm this, but it appears to not penalize dealers and others that it makes the EV mandate non-enforceable for a few years, I think to 2028. So it looks to be a positive step at not penalizing Marylanders that are not able to comply with the EV mandates that are kicking in. Is that correct, Mr. Chairman?
I'll let the
Delegate
chair
Corman.
recognize.
Delegate
Thank you, Madam
Corman.
Chair. Yeah, I'm not going to get in a debate on the substance, and I have another comment after you're done, Delegate Pippi, but yes, that is functionally correct.
Okay. So I'm going to be voting in support of the bill. That's why I asked to have it pulled off so that I could vote in favor.
Thank you. Delegate Corman.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I really want to thank the Minority Whip for the courtesy he's showing to the Speaker Pro Tem for allowing his bill out of rules. I will remember that we now are going to review these bills on the merits before we vote them out of rules. And I will keep that in mind when the members come to me and ask for bills out of rules. I think it's a new process that I'm not familiar with, but I'm happy to start viewing the Rules Committee votes through that lens if that's how we're going to do things from now on. But I want to thank the Minority Whip once again for the courtesy in letting the Speaker Pro Tem's bill out of rules. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much. I also would like to comment on this new process that we're doing today. And I wanted to make sure that everyone understands that the re-referrals from the Rules Committee are for late filed bills. The tradition has been that if a standing committee chair requests a late file bill to be re-referred so that they can have a public hearing and fully vet that bill, even though it was late filed. I've always considered it to be a procedural vote, and not on the substance of the content of any of the bills, but simply to make sure that the bills that the chairman want are before them so that they can fully vet them. With that, is there any other business before the Rules Committee this morning?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Delegate Buckle.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I feel compelled in light of those remarks to simply point this out. This is an inherently political process. People definitely try to afford comity and some degree of cooperation. But I do think that in all honesty, it is somewhat disingenuous to suggest that the bills being voted out should not be looked at on their merits, because they are selected, in fact, for their political merit.
Delegate
expression of
Buckle,
chairman.
I would like to ask you not
Madam
to
Chair.
refrain from characterizing the motivations of anyone on the committee.
Madam Chair, I
No
look
one
at
is being disingenuous. Everyone is doing the best they can to their
Well,
understanding of how things work.
I understand that, but there's an awful lot of late filed bills, and there's only a few of them that come out, and I think we all understand what the general reasons are for behind that. I would note
I
that
explained what they were. I explained that they were for
I
because
understand. I understand your explanation, Madam Chair, and I respect it, but I also suggest that particularly House Bill 1554 as a late filed bill for members who are adamantly opposed to the consideration of a late filed bill of that nature, it is not wrong at us for all to say, hey, we don't think that that should be considered. We don't think that that should be considered in the process that exists. It's wonderful that the chair of my committee and the majority party has decided that after the filing deadline, they're going to bring out a multi-billion-dollar tax increase bill. But it is not wrong for us to say that we oppose that through every procedural means possible in a very polite and professional way. And I think that's all anyone has done here today. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Thank you, Delegate Buckle. And I agree with you. We're moving into a new way of doing things. And I'm just explaining what the tradition has been. And we will be moving forward with more scrutiny on the individual bills, I'm sure, because every member of the Rules Committee will have something to say about something at some point. Delegate Corman.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just want to remind my friend, the minority leader, that it wasn't just the two bills that were pulled out for individual votes that the minority party voted against. They voted against you. I'm not sure if you were on that, Leader Buckle. They voted against the slate of courtesy bills that were in the initial list. So I totally understand the need to pull out certain bills at certain times, but that is not what concerns me. What concerned me was there was a courtesy list, members, I think, of both parties on that list. And the decision was to vote against those. So that is what I was responding to, Leader Buckle, but I appreciate your point. And again, happy to, view things through a different lens going forward.
I appreciate that. And I was not to directly respond to you. I was doing what we do for our day job, and I was running a couple minutes late, so I apologize.
I appreciate that.
Thank you very much. Delegate Kipke.
Hopefully to assuage my friend, the Delegate Corman, the reason I voted against it is the last time we met, we were provided the list at the committee. And obviously we were given this list a little bit before this meeting. I don't have the time to evaluate what we're voting on. And so it's sort of I want to protect myself from voting against something that my voters would find to be objectionable. It's in no way meant to be disrespect. I think we just need, I know it's hard because of the process, but it would be nice to have that list a little bit sooner so that we can evaluate it. That's all. And it's not out of disrespect. I just want to make sure that's clear. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate Kipke. Are there any other? Delegate Atterbury.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just briefly, I would like to say, the bills that I request come out are from both parties. So I want to make that very clear. I also want to make clear that my friend Chair Corman, I agree with his points as well. So I just want to say that. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair Atterbury. Delegate Pippy.
Thank you, Madam Chair. With all this explaining, did we actually vote on the 1556 yet?
We did not. That's why I have my hand raised.
All right. Well, I want to make sure I can vote in favor of that.
All right. Well, why don't we do that now? Okay, just so we don't leave anything on the table here. All those in favor of 1556 being re-referred, say aye.
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 Any opposed, say your name and say no. Hearing none, seeing none, that it will be re-referred. And where the bells are ringing, so we're going to have to adjourn. I'm so sorry.
Madam, Madam Chair, can I just make one point?
Sure,
I
go
would just,
ahead, Delegate.
very quickly, I would just say if these bills had been on time, we would be reviewing them per our rules in committees anyway. So whether or not they're late or not, we give the courtesy in general to have a hearing, therefore have bills vetted. So late or not, but I do respect the point about needing the list ahead of time so that we can actually know what we're voting on. Thank you.
Thank you all very much. I'll see you on the floor.
Move to
We're
adjourn, Madam Chair.
We're
Second.
adjourned. Thank you.